Hello, I'm Jefte Villalta, and today I'm coming to you after debating a lot with myself about, not because I don't believe in what I want to share, or not because I don't want to share, but because right after I posted something on Instagram and Facebook, and I got some negative feedback, not a lot, but a little bit, of some people that totally misunderstood what I was trying to say. They saw BaDi in the text, automatically they just
¡Hijo del diablo! ¡Santo Jehová!
Felt like I was supporting every single thing that he was saying. They totally misunderstood. And in some cases, because I got to speak to some of them, I felt like they didn't even read.
What?
And so I knew that if I did a video like this, possibility of someone misunderstanding me was inevitable. But then after thinking and even praying to God, I realized that if I didn't post the video, yes, I would guarantee that nobody would misunderstand me. But I also would guarantee that nobody would grow, nobody would be blessed, not even one person. And so I thought that if I post this video, if one person is provoked to think a little deeper, then being misunderstood was worth the risk. And so I will post 2 videos. And so let's look at the first one.
Principios fundamentales, manual pa' que no me engañes, raíces, memorias, cerebro, hoy no me falles, en una nube. Nací un 14 de octubre, sinaloense, blanco, nieve. Allá toda mi gente me dice el plebe inmigrante. Línea San Isidro, Coyote, Montes, amigos conocidos.
So for you that saw, there was something that I got hit with as I was watching it. It may sound weird, but I kind of felt like God spoke to me. In no way am I using BaDi as an example, like something or someone that we should follow. Maybe just like you, I don't agree with a bunch of stuff that he says or the lifestyle that he decides to live or whatever it may be. But I do want to kind of put your attention to something that maybe you will miss if you just focus on BaDi. So there's 3 things that he did or didn't do, depending how you want to see them. Number 1, like he didn't dilute who he was. Like he didn't water down his songs, his lyrics, his music, like even the bad words. He still kind of said them. He said them in Spanish, but he did. He could have buckled under the pressure, and he was true to who he felt that he was. He didn't change the lyrics, didn't change the dances, didn't change anything. He came and said, this is my story and you either take it or leave it, but this is the story that I carry. The second thing that he did or he didn't do, he didn't shrink back his culture. This could be his family or his Puerto Rican roots, or it could also be his culture as it relates to rap or to reggaeton or whatever, from the food to the jibaros, the street life, to the sex culture, to like everything that had to do with who he felt that he is. He didn't shrink back. He said, here it is. And it's right there. It was right there for all the world to see. And basically what he was saying with that was, he was saying, this is what I refuse to let die. This is what I refuse to let go of. This is what I refuse people to forget. And the third thing that he did, he paid homage to where he came from. He talked about Tego Calderon. And a lot of the young people that were watching him don't even know who Tego Calderon is. But because he featured him there, they now are asking the question, who is that? He pointed to Daddy Yankee. He pointed to Ricky Martin, right? And the people that had formed him. He paid homage to him. Again. So he basically said 3 things. Number 1, he said, this is the story I carry. This is who I am. Secondly, he said, this is what formed me. This is what I'm gonna pay homage to. This is what I'm gonna honor. And then he said, this is what I refuse to let die. You're gonna remember me because of these things. Now, you could criticize him and be against everything that he stands for, and that's okay. That's not my point. I'm not trying to make you a fan or want you to listen to his music. As a matter of fact, some of you shouldn't. Stay away, run away, keep away from that, right? But what I want to say is that as I'm reading all these people online, like bash BuNnY and rebuke him and even tell people like don't watch him and all this like fear, right, about like how his music is gonna influence the youth. I felt like, why are they so afraid? Like why are they so afraid? Do they feel like his message and his whatever he has more power than the word? Or maybe they're not so sure about what they planted in their people, that they're so afraid of that if they hear the world singing or the world doing their thing, that it's gonna affect them and they're gonna lose. I don't know. But what I do know that that's a conversation for another day. But this is the question that I want to ask you. Like, if you were given the opportunity to be able to have a stage, if you were given a stage, a place to share, if you were giving a stage to be able to show what formed you, if you get the opportunity, a stage, a platform to be able to show what you're carrying, if you were able to say, this is my story and I want you to know what my story is and what I'm about it, to use a stage to refuse to let something die, what would that be? What would be the story that you're carrying? What would be what you would pay homage to? What would be that thing that you would refuse, that you would refuse to let die? What would be that thing? And I'm afraid that a lot of us don't know. I'm afraid that BuNnY may have promoted something bad in such a good way that is shedding light to how we promote such a good thing in such a bad way. Because yes, we may not have a Super Bowl halftime show stage to show these things, but we have been given a stage, a platform. Like your school is a platform, like where your work is a platform. Again, it might not be the Super Bowl stage, but it's a platform. People are watching. They're listening. They're seeing. They're hearing. They're hearing your faith or your lack of it. And I got kids. And obviously, I don't want them to be influenced by the world. But my job is not to shelter them from the evils of the world. It's not like I'm going to put earmuffs? Let's say earmuffs on my son and my daughters, my sons and daughter, so that they won't be affected by the world. My job is to let my kids know, my sons and my daughters know what formed me, what I'm gonna pay homage to. I need them to know what I carry, the history of who I am, and they need to know what I refuse to let die. And I love Jesus. I refuse to let die the fact that I know that He loves me, and that although sin separated me from God, that God provided a way back to Himself through Jesus, and that if I trust Him, He will save me. I refuse to let die that places like these are still important, that the church is still God's agent of hope in our cities. I refuse to let die that God uses young people and old people, that God is still powerful, that God still heals and saves, and He is coming soon, that this is not the end. That there's a story being written, and that at the end of that story, He is the King and He's the Lord. I refuse to let go of the hymns that hymns that shape me. I refuse to deny that I think that God has power and that spiritual gifts are still in play today, that God still uses, that preaching has the power to change. I refuse to let this generation forget that at the cross where I first found the light, y las manchas de mi alma yo la ve, fue allí por fe yo vi a Jesús y siempre feliz con él seré. Like, and the world's gonna be the world. I mean, what do you expect from BuNnY and anybody who's not Christian? They're gonna promote what they believe. That's not my worry. My worry is us. My worry is that we are so caught up in criticizing someone else for being who they are, a non-believer, that we end up messing up and missing out greatest opportunity that we have.